Hey guys, we're going to be multiplying rational polynomial expressions. I like this because there's a lot of canceling involved, and we can usually make a very small number simplified into a very small number or a very small expression. So let's look at the first expression that we're going to have here. We're going to have k squared minus 14k plus 48 divided by k minus 8. So this is one expression, multiplied by a second expression, 2 divided by 8k squared minus 48k. Of course, as usual, what we're going to do first is factor. So we factored these out. The numerator here factors into k minus 8 times k minus 6 over k divided by k minus 8 times 2. And then we factor out an 8k from here, and we get 8k over k times k minus 6. We can then cancel out our k minus 8 and this k minus 8. And then as you notice, we can cancel out the k minus 6 times k minus 6. Now you might think we're finished, but notice we have a 2 divided by 8. That can be simplified as well. 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 8 4 times, simply leaving us with a small expression of 1 over 4k. Now, I don't think I have to repeat myself about this, but we notice here that k cannot equal 8 because that would cause this to be a 0 in the denominator. And in this denominator here, k cannot be 0, nor can it be 6. So the values we have to exclude for k are 8, 0, and 6, because all of those numbers would cause the denominator to be 0. Our next one that we're going to look at, example 2, is a lot more complex. So let's look at it. We're going to start off with 21x plus 9 divided by 21x squared minus 33x minus 18. And then we're going to multiply that by 6x squared minus 36x plus 48 divided by 40x squared minus 10x cubed. And you know it, our next step is to factor. So here we go. We factored a 3 out the numerator in this group. We took a 3 out. 3 times 7x would have given us the 21x, and 3 times 3 would have given us the 9. So we have factored out a 3. In the denominator, I factored out a 3 as well, leaving me 7x squared minus 11x minus 6. So we took out what was common. We took out what was common on this one, which is 6. Factor out a 6. We have x squared minus 6x plus 8. And then in this group, we factored out a 10x squared, giving us 10x squared times 4 minus x. We can factor further, giving us, here, we factor x squared minus 6x plus 8 into 6 times x minus 4 times x minus 2. And in this side, we factored 7x squared minus 11x minus 6 using bottoms up. We multiplied 7 times 6 and got 42, and then we looked for two factors that would give me 42. When I subtracted them, I would get 11. In this case, they gave us 14 and 3. 14 and 3. But then as you remember, because we multiplied by the 7, we have to compensate by dividing both of our terms by 7. On this side, I decided I didn't like the x being in the back, so I took out a negative. And I multiplied the negative over, and then this negative x then became a positive x, and this 4 became a negative 4, because negative 10 times x squared times x would give me my original negative 10x cubed, and negative 10x squared times negative 4 would give me my original 40x squared. In the numerator here, I simply do x with two numbers multiplied give me 8. When I add them together, I get 6. And of course, that is 4 and 2. So now we have it all nice and factored out. Once we have it factored out, we can start canceling. Oops, I made a mistake, because this isn't finished. Because in this term, we have to bottoms up. So let's look at what it looks like when we have to bottoms up. Notice we bottoms up we've simplified here. 14 divided by 7 is the 2. And then we bottoms up the 7. So we took our 7 and we brought it up to the top, so it gets 7x plus 3. Now we have this all pretty factored out. Now it's time to have the fun of canceling. So we got x minus 4 and x minus 4. Bet you can spot a couple of more here. A real nice one would be x minus 2 right here with this x minus 2. Do you see any more? How about this one? 7x plus 3 times 7x plus 3. Wow, we got a lot done there. But we have to look at our numbers as well as our binomials. This 3 divided by 3 will also cancel out. And then we can simplify 6 over negative 10x squared. 6 goes into 6. 2 goes into 6 3 times. And 2 goes into negative 10, negative 5 times. That simply leaves us 3 over negative 5x squared. 3 over negative 5x squared. If we go back and we look at our terms, we can then see what numbers we cannot divide by. Our excluded values are going to be 2, because if I put 2 in here, that would cause this to can't be a 0. We can't use, negative 3/7 because negative 3/7 would make that 0. We can't use 0 because if I put a 0 in here, then that would make my denominator 0. And we cannot use 4 because 4 would also. So our excluded values are x cannot equal 2, negative 3/7, 0, or 4, because all of these numbers would make the denominator 0. Good luck. See you in class tomorrow. Okay. Oops. Forgot to turn that video off.